What is up, nobody? This is Richard doing a recording of enLITE, which is a pocket version of enLITE that I created using the Playdate Pulp web-based game editor. So you can see it in action right here. I'll move it over here. I got myself the game, and I can go to the correct game. Where is it? Game. I forgot how I switch projects. Game. Maybe it's just because it's just two. Yeah, there we go. I zoomed in too much. So if I do this, you guys can see it better. But I have a game. I go to enLITE. Just making a pocket version, just trying to experiment with the editor at first, but it turned into this whole project. The project in which you can see over here, enLITE or enLITE, the light version of enLITE built for the Playdate. Initially, I was just trying to get the game running, maybe do the click keeper, maybe a way for it to compare one grid to another so I could do simple things. And it started back in 620, you can see here. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink this. Yeah, it started back in 620. I had some preliminary versions, and this was the first time I got the grid working. The Playdate Pulp editor is really designed to make little top-down Link's Awakening style games, but I'm doing it for a puzzle game, so it's a little different, and I had to figure out a way to code the entire thing. So you can see that I have created my own fonts, tweaked my own fonts, have a bunch of different rooms, including daily challenge rooms, level select, and all that. I've been transcribing songs a little bit, have sound effects, but mostly the entire game is held in the scripts. And these are all the different scripts that I have. Some are game-wide, some are based on the room, some are based on individual tiles that I put into the room. Not too complicated to understand. But the coolest part is, I can just play this right in browser. So I got a bit of the enLITE good old music going there, and I can do this. Okay, cool, you can see it. So yeah, this is the game, and you can move your cursor around. I got a lot of features in here, so just kind of showing you the history of the progress first. I kind of made the grid, got that working. You can kind of see it right here. Stop. Go to game modes, explore mode. So the basic thing was just this grid without the cursor or anything, just as you can see here on the right, just getting it to work. Then I multiplied the grid a bunch of times so I could have basically a scratch page that I could work. And I had to work on creating a way to where you could, let me just stop, game mode, cool. So yeah, then I had this scratch grid, and I had to make a way to where whenever you clicked on it, it would only work in the grid that you did it, and it wouldn't bleed over to other grids. A lot of basic stuff. But yeah, I've recreated the game of enLITE multiple times, and one time even in a spreadsheet for a Google Sheet. So I'm pretty used to how the rules work and the different ways you can implement it. So about how many days later? 620 to 620. About 9 days later, I was working on things like click keeper, credits page, something just to give the little demo a little bit more information so it's not completely programmery. Title card and graphics, and then I used the crank to rewind turns. You can kind of see that simulated here if I do this. You can see the turns on the right side, the little timeline. It works no matter how many boards you skip across, I think it works up to 50 different turns. So like that's the thing. And nope. Added a turn bar. As you can see on the right, chimes for cells, so when you click on them. And then I found out a really clever way to actually implement 100 puzzles. Very difficult because this game doesn't let you save data very easily. Doesn't let you use arrays, this engine. So like I had to figure out a really clever way not only to have like all these little icons represented, which you can see in the level select, like have all these icons actually represent their stages, but to also have the name, the difficulty, and whether or not you solve perfect or blind. These little doohickeys, very clever workarounds. But ultimately, I created a way to put all 100 puzzles. I'm still inputting some of them, so my progress is like right here in the red. But and then every time I added a feature, I would play the game on my own, my little pocket version. Here's where I use the spreadsheet in order to generate code much more quickly. But I found that the experience isn't worth doing if it didn't have certain tools. So taking notes was a must, right? I got tired of like thinking something, going, man, that's cool, and then forgetting it. So like you have to take notes. Super important. And this, I found a really clever way to put a note-taking system into this pulp editor. And I would spawn a room filled with text tiles, and then each tile can have a frame. So they don't let you set variables very easily per instance, but you can set each tile to a frame of animation. So I use the frames themselves to be the variables. And you can cursor over the cells and then type. So this is like my early prototype, typing into a field of text. And this is another prototype. So the thing in the game right now is actually very similar. You can do this, see notes, here are my notes, observations, and it saves the text. I even found a way to save a mini grid, which was one of the latest things I did, but you can ignore that right now. So the see notes, make a note, and I can type in like this, T, Y, P, E, space, I, N, space, like. Oh, and then I don't have a really easy way to back up, so I had made it to where you have to go back up to the grid, click the cell you want. It's kind of rudimentary, but man. This. And then when you exit, you can save it to any of these slots, and it kind of like saves it to the front of the string. So this is just like a random example, so I'll save it to, I don't know, note 7. And then I go back, and then if you ever check your notes, note 7, type in like this. Cool. So I created a note-taking system and everything, and it really did help complete the experience. So after that, I was just kind of on a roll and added redundant clicks and stat tracking and text input strings. Then I figured out how to do daily challenge 1, fixed a couple of bugs, level select hover menu. So like this menu right here that you're seeing, very clever. Like everything is clever workarounds when you're working with a really limited engine, but the ability for it to get the correct information, look it up, type it, and put it there, right? That's really, really helped make this level select more legitimate. As you can see, the title's up there, the turn count's right there, the stats on the bottom of the screen are just stats. Cool. And you can go to next puzzle, you can rename the puzzle. So if we rename this, we'll type in yo ho, pirate style. And you go save new name. Go back. Oh, I guess you can't save the name of well, we'll get to that in a second, but you can't save the name of the default puzzles. So yeah, then I had random generated cursor. This is the thing I want to do most with enLITE, to create a, this is kind of like enLIGHTEN Gold, but I want to create a way for players to continually go through the entire enLIGHTEN learning experience while refreshing it. But once you learn one cursor and master it, it's really not the same kind of challenge. So I want to give the ability of people to create new cursors. So this is a cursor, right? It's the same cursor you've known and loved, but if I crank this crank, a new cursor is generated, and now it's just this weird shape. You can even see the hover highlight with this weird new shape. So let's crank it until we get a shape that we like. Usually I want to keep this, let's try this one. I've never really done one like this before. So we back out and we go back, and now the entire game is made with that cursor. And you can go through the entire 100 puzzles, and it procedurally creates the challenge. So here, this used to be cross, but now it's whatever this is. So I'm going to call this flying fish. And it gives you the chance to rename every puzzle because that's how you start to build your mnemonics anyway. And I found that that was absolutely important to have as a feature. So flying fish, go back. I didn't do it. F fish. Now you guys know, and save new name. But now the puzzle's called F fish. So even if you hover over it, it says F fish, and I perfected it or whatever, and I can blind it too if I go to like game mode. Game mode, maybe explore, and then I go to blind toggle. The menu is a little crazy, but now if I go to this, you can't really tell, but it blinds the whole board out after your first click, just like normal enLITE. And then if you solve it and you go back, you get the blind award instead of just perfect. So like, I even have that feature built in. But yeah, now every puzzle in the game, right? Right? And if you don't like the name of it, I can rename this to small fence. And going through this whole process, small fence, is something really cool. So now you can run through the whole process, and getting those features took me about a month. I added more puzzle levels, backed out menu for puzzle mode, context menu for note mode, saving viewing notes, save load system, quick game, new cursor, daily count down, daily turn rewind. So like all these features kind of incorporating them, a better daily scoring system, then let this store data, amend the strings, limited edit mode to only explore mode. You can edit the board, rename puzzles in custom mode, which is something I just showed you, so you can rename them. Fix the huge invisible spaces bug that was annoying, took a whole day. Fix click keeper rewind turns bug. Snapshot of the grid. So now in the click keeper, I can show you the click keeper too. So like game mode, just really clever ways to do all these things. Oh, click keeper's not working. Blind toggle. Game mode, explore. Huh. Game mode, level select. Click keeper. Huh. Click keeper doesn't seem to be working. Game mode, explore, click keeper. Interesting. That's weird. But yeah, the click keeper used to work. So it used to keep track of where you clicked, and even when you take a snapshot of the board, what's really cool is it takes a snapshot of the dark areas, right, which are the lights essentially, but then it puts a slash in all the boxes that have clicks. So you can both, in one snapshot, which is, I wish I had thought about this for the original enLITE, you can save the board and save the clicks that it takes to get there, like all in one little thing. And I added ability to save that into the notes, which is really cool. So then I actually managed to do daily challenge 2 and 3, or 2, 3, and 4, not 5. And added a hover outline to the cursor so you can like see that in action right here. So let's show. I probably should just go through all the things, but you can just add random clicks to the board with the shuffle. Game mode, level select you already saw, game mode, daily challenge 1. So you got a little bit less time. Hmm. So I can either rewind or skip this one. So I can skip this round, take a point loss. This looks like the little fences thing I was doing earlier. So maybe this is too many clicks. So if I want to go back to the start of this, I just grab this and keep trying. What could it be? I bet something like Probably not. So skip it again. So clearly I'm not good with this cursor, but you can see how the mode works. You got 90 seconds. I don't have much time now. What? Oh. I don't know. And then it ends and gives you your score. Go back, it saves your score to the records page, which this is, I've been playing this file, so it saves the amount of time you have, the puzzles you solved, perfectly blinded, and your daily high score and how many notes you take. So like it's even got a rudimentary records mode, so you can kind of see how long it took you and to remaster basically. Um, Daily challenge 2, scramble. So they give you a shape and you're supposed to in 1 or 2 clicks return it back to that shape. Huh. It's just a single dot there. Now I gotta guess. Oh, I see. It's too many clicks. I'm already way off. But you can see how that one works. And then you have Daily Challenge 3, which every time you mess up one, it adds it to like a short memory queue. So it's like this one will appear next time. Let's see. No, not that. So like even if you get one off click, right, that isn't perfect, it's like we've identified a weak puzzle, we're gonna add it to the queue next time, and you're like, okay, so every time you play this mode, it's demanding perfection, and you either get it or you don't. I'm doing pretty well now. I'm surprised, but I can start to feel the symmetry of this, and when to lean into the symmetry and when not to. Nope. But yeah, that's that mode. The about is just like pocket version of enLITE, full version can be downloaded. Data reset if you want to clear your whole game. Uh, Explore mode lets you, clear the board. Go into edit mode like this, and you can just like make your own puzzles, just like in before. Um, Cartoon is this fun mode where you can try to use your knowledge to like sketch out your cursor to sketch out things, right? Or you can not shuffle, do a super random, right? And it'll just randomize the whole thing using your cursor. Or you can clear it and do a super random on just individual dots. So you can see that that pattern is very much not what the other pattern was. Or you can, and then once you have like a pattern in front of you, you can move your cursor around, and any of them you think you can solve, which I think I can solve this one. You can set your anchor, and it turns the whole thing into like a small mini grid board of what you just saw. So don't think I can solve this one after all. And then you can't click anywhere outside of it, right? And then you can always stop the focus and resume playing somewhere else. So you can make your own shapes, share big grids. This is inspired by like Pokemon Picross, and they have those bigger versions of the whole thing going on. Some of the features I have yet to add: timestamps to your scores, rotate the puzzles to keep things fresh. I don't think I can add that. Note taking puzzle data reference. So every time you take a note on a puzzle, it adds a little reference to it, so you don't have to do it yourself. New cursors. Every time you make a new cursor, it should clear out all your old data because you're basically starting the game from scratch. But essentially, the game is pretty feature complete. I just wanted to tighten it up slowly by adding music, sound, better menus, and stuff. And no one's really gonna play this. It's so hard. Like if you played enLITE, this is a fun little extra experience. But if you never played it, it's really hard to make the experience simple enough and clean enough that somebody could pick it up from scratch and like know why they should take notes and all that. So I never really intended it to be sort of a commercial product, or but I can put it out there eventually. It is what it is. So maybe a video could help explain everything. But yeah, you can see here what are some of my other features. Game mode, daily 4. So this is one of my scratch pad I was showing you before. But what's cool about this? Let's clear it. Is that you can at any time say like shuffle. Oh, so that took every game board on here and shuffled it by I think 3 clicks. So this one's 1, no, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Let's clear it again. So then you're like, how many shuffles do you want to do? 3 clicks. So every board on the bottom is now 3 clicks, and this is just like a really cool way to see a spread of options and go like, huh, like you don't have to solve them. You can try to recreate them up here in 3 clicks, which is 1, 2, and then 3. Yeah, and then it just kind of helps you see better. And then you can. There's a thing I added where you can like check. I guess I even took it out of the menu, but you could check to see if the top matches the bottom and it scores you. But you can also shuffle again. So from that last one is now 3 clicks to get to here. So like maybe 1, 2, 3. Cool. So you can just keep going and going and going and kind of make your own stuff up. I can clear it. I can shuffle, and you can make it as hard as you want. 7 clicks. You're like, click keeper, see notes, blind, toggle, and you can even play this blind. So like, if I want to recreate that puzzle in 7 clicks, I can just start. And once I think I have it, I could like select check for me, and it'll tell me if I got it or not. Like, um, game mode. So daily challenge, explore mode, daily 4, which is this, the cartoon mode, new cursors, records. That's pretty much all the features I packed in this tiny little thing. I think the last update I did, or the last file I was playing, crashed the playdate. So I don't know why the crash is happening. Probably because I'm saving too much data to it at once, and it's like a weak little thing. But that's kind of cool. So one of my favorite things about this new cursor is it's a brand new experience that you can play many, many hours and just run the whole thing again. I'm truly enjoying doing that. But what if you and your friend both have a play date and you want to have parallel progress, right? So you can do this, and let's make a new cursor that's like a smiley face or a Richard face, right? Like, and then we say make from grid. What the? No, make from grid. Oh, edit mode. Okay, so yeah, now you see the cursor. That's a little minor bug, but now you see the cursor is this Richard face, as you can see here. And you can you and your friend can play the whole game, start a fresh file, it'll keep all your stats, and you can share notes and try to help each other race to mastery using a brand new cursor. And because the cursor has a 3x3 limit, right? You can only customize the dots that are within like the little inner box. Oh, and every 15 minutes it records a snapshot, so like it's saving your stats over time. Um, but yeah, like you can have a whole experience and play endlessly, enlightening yourself and practicing the art of learning well, right? It's one thing to just be like, hey guys, that's a better way to learn. And it's another thing to be like, hey guys, you just went through it. Isn't that crazy? But like all other things that we're trying to teach and preach, practice improves. And it takes more than just going through it once. You have to practice taking notes again and another experience. You have to practice pacing yourself. You have to practice using daily challenges and hitting your weak side. You have to practice exploring and just seeing where the cursor, what kind of shapes it makes and where it goes and saving random shapes. You got to practice it all. And I felt like enLITE accomplished that. So as a project, as a mini project on the side, taking roughly 2 months to build it all and having to learn so much about how to input graphics into this thing and pixels stuff, and it's not easy. Like everything you see in there, I really I'm pretty much at the point where any other thing I want to do or even making it prettier looking, I would have to go into code and work with their SDK. But since I'm only working in this browser-based editor the whole way through, right? And I can make that bigger and show you all the game code is 1,000 something lines of code. The player code is 1,000 something. Like the puzzle room code is 400, 500. Daily challenges 350. Like there's a lot of code in this, and I have to type it all out. The puzzle brain, it's even more because I'm inputting every puzzle like one at a time per click, and storing unique puzzle names. Like it's crazy, right? Um, you can see in the game all the variables I have to store, including like if you customize the name on any puzzle, I have to have 100 different variables ready for you to rename. And I have to remember which puzzles you're weak at for daily challenge 3. So each of these things have to create an individual stack of variables for, then keep track of them and my total stats and everything. So yeah, like it gets up there. I'm pretty much pushing the thing to the limit in terms of just what it's doing with data, and I had a blast. So probably not going to see this thing ever again. No one's probably going to see this video. I just want to record it to show what it looked like in action. Uh, play some of the songs for you. Where is it? That's the you accomplish the thingy song, unlock song. I was trying to make like a background music for this one. It's got that binaural beats kind of frequency thing happening. This haunty, eerie music. Level select. I was trying to create like multi-layered tone for the level select so that as you expand outward, you get like the layered music effect. All that just takes more and more little fine-tune work and detail work. Um, it's, it's not playing it so well. Yep, that's the bulk of it. So cool. That's enLITE project. Let me check. Let me just lower this then. And cool. So that's the enLITE project. This is the Dynamap that I used to keep track of it. It was fun doing both. It's cool to have my to-do list look like this, and I never got a chance to put Gritchard in. I even mocked up some menus, but then putting menus into this thing is just so incredibly hard. I was lucky enough to get this weird puzzle mode thing going. Couldn't really figure out a way to make smoother UI, so like, but it's got all the stuff. I don't really detect your mastery. I guess if you just get over a certain point threshold for all the dailies, you can consider yourself a master. And if you solve all the like most of the puzzles and blind most of them, you can just keep track of it yourself. But I definitely don't um, check for that with code yet. And Yeah, I'm still I was always interested before in porting this to different things and getting a remake done and doing it right, but that's kind of all out of my hands now. But this was a fun side project, so just keeping this for the record because one day I'm not going to be able to play this in browser. I'm not going to find my play date. I'm going to be like, what did I do and how hard was it? I hope to soon create an Enlighten hardback book volume, and with that, I would print out all the code that you saw and my entire design document and the entire thread from the Discord channel and the entire code from the Game Maker base and all the screenshots and all the maybe transcripts from the videos and things like that. Just one large volume of everything Enlighten. That's gonna be fun because I like doing projects like that, but I am low on time all around, so thanks for watching, even though no one's watching. And until next time, guys, peace.